For me, I think the biggest thing that football taught me was how to overcome adversity.
At some point in your life, you're going to have some tough times.
You have to have that next play mentality.
That cohesiveness and that working together, that's really something special that you can't get in a lot of other areas.
When you practice that and you live that in other phases of your life, it becomes second nature because all you know how to do is fight.
It's not an easy game. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
You start to appreciate the smaller contributions that people make. You don't just look at the big one because you knew it took 6 or 7 other guys who are unsung.
And you can't take shortcuts and be successful.
Doing what they do to make it possible for the guy getting the press clippings or whatever it might be.
In this game, whether it's as a coach or a player.
So I would certainly say that you definitely got a very quick lesson in how to overcome adversity playing football.
Gameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our preview of the 2016 San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl between the BYU Cougars and the Wyoming Cowboys. And we're going to start this video off by taking a look at some keys to victory. Let's start with BYU in this ball game. I believe the Cougars have to lean on that Cowboys defensive line. BYU has one of the best rushing attacks in college football, and I think the way they utilize their fullback, double tight end sets, they have an opportunity to run the football to success against Wyoming. Defensively, it's about setting the edge and forcing the running back Brian Hill downhill to where your inside linebackers can make plays. If they keep him within that tackle-to-tackle box, I think they have a great chance in slowing down the Cowboys' running attack. But if they allow him to get outside and allow those tackles to hook those edges and get off tackle with their running game, then they could pose some problems for this BYU defense. And speaking of their defense, I think their corners have to be ready to make plays. They're facing a quarterback in Josh Allen that does a great job in attacking deep down the field, but he also puts the ball in harm's way. There's going to be ample opportunities for those corners of BYU to make plays on the ball, and they have to be ready to convert to get the ball back to their offense. Moving over to Wyoming in this ball game, I think it's about keeping Tanner Mangum guessing back there in the pocket. He's taking over in this bowl game for Taysom Hill, the outstanding quarterback, the oft-injured quarterback for BYU, and Mangum will be starting against a very aggressive and active athletic defense in Wyoming. Keep him guessing, get him to hold that football just a share a bit too long. That way he can get back there and make a play. And third down defense is going to be crucial. This Wyoming football team has to do a better job of getting off the field. Their offense can match score for score with BYU, but if they can't get back on the field because their defense can't get off of it, they could struggle. And quarterback Josh Allen has to protect the football. I talked about how those corners of BYU have the opportunity to make plays on the ball. If Allen can be efficient, can be accurate, and not force passes in tight windows, I think they have a chance to have some success. But he has to protect the football. Any lost possession versus BYU could be crucial. The biggest X factor in this game for BYU will be the play of quarterback Tanner Mangum. He's played before. He's played a lot of games for BYU, but this is a bowl game versus a very good opponent in Wyoming. He's stepping up to the plate. He's going to have to make sure he's efficient, he's effective, he's accurate, he's decisive, all those things that help your team win. Otherwise, what you'll see from Wyoming is them be able to stop the run and make Tanner Mangum beat them throwing the football, so they have to make sure to get him into a groove early on to avoid that happening to their ground game. And for the Cowboys in this ball game, it's all about their defensive front seven. They have to do a better job in stopping the run. They're giving up 5.2 yards a carry on the ground. That's not what you want to hear when you're facing Jamal Williams and company in that BYU ground attack. If they can stop the run and make this a Josh Hill versus Tanner Mangum ball game, to me that heavily favors the Wyoming Cowboys. So that front seven really has to bring their A game, something we haven't seen from them all season long versus the run. Now let's take a look at some of the pro prospects you want to keep an eye on in this ball game. Jamal Williams is one heck of a tailback at 6'2", 220. If you hadn't seen him play, you're definitely in for a treat. Brian Hill is a junior, but I think he may be leaning toward coming out in the NFL draft. He's another outstanding tailback in this contest. Cornerback Michael Davis for BYU, 6'2", 190, has the size that you look for, but also has the ball skill and instincts. Kai Naka is another outstanding defensive back for BYU. And I want you to keep an eye on another offensive lineman for Wyoming, Chase Roulier, the outstanding center for the Cowboys. Another big-time playmaker along that offensive line is a big reason why Brian Hill has a lot of room to run in the running game. I like BYU in this ball game. In my opinion, this is one of the more complete teams we have in college football. BYU can own the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They can run the football very well with Jamal Williams, and it doesn't matter if it's Taysom Hill or Tanner Mangum back there at quarterback. They do a great job of being efficient in what they do, and on the outside, on the perimeter, they can cover extremely well. So I think this is a complete team, and they'll do a great job in limiting what Wyoming does well. They'll take away one aspect of their game and ultimately render them one-dimensional, and that's how BYU will win the ball game.